What's up, everyone? Fancraft. That's right, it's Bo here, and we're back. And you know how I said that the vibrant visuals on Fancraft are going to go back to normal? Yeah, I lied. I'm loving this. I got to tell you, this is really growing on me. I am liking the glowy. And not only that, but I am kind of starting this video off here in our little copper store, our little droid factory, because I don't know if you saw the news, but the Copper Golem, ladies and gentlemen, will be joining us here in Minecraft sooner rather than later, and that makes me so happy. I cannot wait to have a little Copper Golem actually in the droid factory, kind of going back and forth. We'll figure out something for him to do, and like we'll make it work. You know, it's a pretty small little tiny shop here, but we will definitely make it work. I mean, like, oh gosh, that's just perfect. It just makes me so happy. But speaking of things that make me happy, y'all, there is so much to show off this week because for the last couple of weeks, unfortunately, I have been a little under the weather. No. I have been actually a lot under the weather. I don't want to go into it. I'm feeling much better. But if I sound a little off, that is why. And also, while I have been a little out of it, a lot of people have been very much with it and in it and making some new things. Oh my Galactus. Okay. All right. Let's get there. Okay. First things first, I actually want to show you this because the Trask build, which I made, I guess last time, I wasn't a huge fan of how it turned out. And somebody came to the rescue, and that is none other than Will. As you can see, we have got ourselves a ginormous Sentinel, like classic comic book, old school style. Of course, we've got like, you know, the Days of Future Past movie version up in the building, but I'm loving this guy right here. I saw that Will had some in his base, and I asked if he'd be willing to add one here to the Marvel District, and he obliged. He actually originally put it up in the sky, but for various reasons, I asked if it would be okay to move it down here, which he was totally cool with, and we kind of collaborated on this a little bit together. I mean, it's totally his design, but I did add something else, and that is a head with battle damage that has been tossed right down here onto the Trask campus, where there's a little bit of a note as well that says, "Return to Cinder" from Logan. It's so great! This has honestly turned what has been one of my just least favorite builds in the Marvel District into kind of one of the most fun areas. And I love the fact that this is literally, when you come into the Marvel District, it's the first thing that greets you. Is this giant Sentinel kind of scanning you to see whether or not you're a mutant. But that ain't the only purple you've probably noticed, because looming above us up in the sky, ladies and gentlemen, that is not a bird. That is not a plane. That is the world devourer Galactus. Oh my Galactus. This thing looks incredible. So in honor of the new Fantastic Four First Steps, Will took it upon himself to create a full-fledged ginormous Galactus with Silver Surfer in tow here above the Fantastic Four Baxter building, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. I mean, this is such a statement piece. It's kind of like the Dragon is for the Tolkien District. This is now like another just massive statement piece for the Marvel District, and it looks so cool. There is only one problem with this. Only one, and it's not Will. It's not Galactus. It's me. It's the Blackbird. So when I put the Blackbird over the X-Men court here, you know, I mean, like I was thinking, okay, well, this kind of adds something to the skyline. It's kind of cool. It's great. And I maybe broke my own rules because it technically, because of like the way the jet stream worked, it went over Will's build. And my mindset was like, oh, well, yeah, we'll be fine with this, right? And he was for a long time. He was very good. In fact, even now, he still has not said anything about it. However, he did like build this bad boy like right into like where the jets were making their little X symbol back here. And so I was like, okay, yep, fair play. Look, I was the one that cheated. I was the one that actually went onto his land, his property, and all that kind of good stuff. And so I've taken down that. And frankly, because I love this so much, I'm kind of thinking we need to make it stand out more. So it's going to be a bit of a pain, but I'm going to take the X-Jet and lower it down right about to here. Whoops. Yeah, I'm going to lower it down so that it's kind of hovering right above the court, right there where the bamboo is. And I am going to do something that I've wanted to do for a while, or at least I've said I was going to do. I'm going to actually open up the court and kind of showcase the landing platform down here. This is kind of an annoying build, if I'm being totally honest, because it's a bit boring. It's just a bunch of kind of repetitious colors and that sort of thing. And frankly, I haven't even figured out exactly what I want the design to be. So yeah, there's a reason why this has been kind of a slow burn, low priority. But yeah, the idea is that we'll probably drop this side down, move it about 2 blocks back, which will give people a little peek down inside, like it's starting to open up as the X-Jet is lowering itself for landing, or perhaps for takeoff. Who knows? We'll let you kind of decide what it looks like when we get there. But all that to say, that's not today. No. So today we are actually working on a different build, and that is the Oscorp building. So, of course, we've got the web facility, and this is, of course, where Peter Parker and his friends are working hard doing some research to help out Spider-Man. I don't know why on earth Peter feels so inclined to help him, but that's great that he does. And, we've got kind of Spider-Man represented here. We've actually got Wilson Fisk represented as well with over around the corner. Yes, the Fisk Concrete Company right here. So, there's some spider representation to be sure here in the Marvel District, but I mean, we got to add to the skyline. We got to add another nice tall building, and I'm thinking Oscorp is the way to do it. Now, I'm actually kind of inspired by Will's Silver Surfer right here, and I'm actually thinking not only are we going to build an Oscorp, but I actually kind of want to build a Goblin glider coming out of it as well. Maybe even kind of hovering around the top could be kind of cool. But as you can see, I've already started laying out the plot as to where this is going to be. Now, it's going to have kind of a larger, or at least kind of a wider lower level, and then it's going to go up into the sky. I don't think it's going to be it's not going to be as tall as the Avengers Tower, but it should be a nice little addition to the skyline. That's really what I'm going for here. Now, I struggled with this because I was trying to figure out where would it make the most sense to build. And, I've showed this, I believe, before, but we've got essentially 3 primary plots available in the Marvel District still, which is right over there, the one where I've kind of laid it out. We've got this area right here, which is much smaller than it actually looks. Because every single time I've tried to build something here, I've realized that it cuts into the lore office. I don't know, maybe the lore office was a bad idea. We haven't had much lore lately. So anyway, but regardless, so there's kind of this area right here that can be turned into a plot. And then we've got kind of this plot right here, which is a little bit of like an L-shaped, or it could be kind of multiple things. I don't know. We could put some brownstones in if we really wanted to. I had this idea at some point of doing like Pop's Barbershop from Luke Cage underneath some brownstones, which could be kind of cool. But regardless, we'll kind of leave that for if anybody wants to do it. Oh, by the way, have I ever showcased this? The biker bar. This is the Hell Rider, or not Hell Rider. Is it Hell Rider? Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider biker bar right back here, right in front of the tower, which is great. And this big hole in the ground where somebody fell. I don't know anything about that. So we're thinking this. We're thinking this is where we're going to put Oscorp, and I think that's right. I think that's good. I hope it's good. I hope it looks nice. We'll see. We'll see how it all turns out. All right, so as I get the materials here, let's talk inspiration, because Oscorp has been depicted in a lot of different ways, but what I have decided to do is, and I mean, this kind of becomes a thing for me on a pseudo-regular basis, I've actually turned to the Lego sets. That's right. Lego sets translate really well into Minecraft builds. And so if Lego has already done the job of trying to figure out a visual blocky representation of of like a pop culture or even like a real space, why not turn to their designs for some solid inspiration? So as you can see here, this is a Lego set that someone created. I don't even know if this is like an official Lego set. This might be from more of like a fan recreation, or it might be legit. I can't remember. But anyway, you're seeing it on the screen right now, so it's probably fairly clear to you. Regardless, anyway, that's what we're going to be using as our inspiration for this Oscorp build. And I think it's going to be really, really great. It's a lot of deep slate. It's a lot of lime. It's a lot of repetition. I mean, hey, it is a office building. That's what it's all about, is a lot of repetition. Let's go ahead and get at least the base done, and then we'll take a look and see what we've got. All right, let's get started. Let's see how far we get. Let's go. All right, and I think it actually turned out pretty well. Now, as you can see, we have got our base, our kind of bottom portion of this build, and, it looks good. It's corporate with a good green goblin. I mean, I don't know why I would say that. Oscorp-esque flair, and I think that this is pretty good. It's also pretty much a very similar style to what we'll see going up on the main tower that will be kind of bit of a skyscraper-esque type of approach. Now, that little glass section that you see at the top of what we have right now, I actually added that on from what I had from the original design, mostly because I want to make sure this is going to have some good height on it. I want to make sure that it's peeking out over the top of the Baxter building, or no, not the Baxter, the Baker Street. Isn't it Baker Street? I think it's Baker Street. It's the Doctor Strange place that's behind me. Yes, this thing is huge. Like the scale of this thing is massive, and which is awesome. But we need to make sure that we're not dwarfing ourselves by being stuck between two pretty massive builds, and make sure that that central tower is something prominent. So, yeah, gave it a little bit more room with the glass there. As is always the problem with larger builds, I don't quite know what I'm going to do with the interior yet. I mean, I've laid out kind of some kelp blocks here for the floor just to give it a little bit more of that, I don't know, just corporate-y type of base. Still cooking up the rest of the kelp blocks that I need for the floor, but for the time being, you get the basic concept that we're going with. Now, I don't know if, like, you know, maybe like there'll be like a foyer with kind of an open area, and then these will have kind of some wraparound offices here, and then maybe like a, you know, kind of a central type of lift or elevator that would take you to the top floors. Not sure. Haven't quite figured out what I want to do for the interior yet, but you know what? We still got a lot to go here on the exterior, but I think it's coming along really well. And I'm excited to get on with the top tower. Let's put a top on this cake. Da 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 da. All right. Yes. I am thinking this is looking decent. Maybe even good. Maybe good. Okay. Yep. I'm sitting on one of these guys. I think they're so dumb looking. But anyway, yeah, this thing is looking fairly decent. Let's pull out right here. Now, there's some things you'll notice. Obviously, we've got our Oscorp sign all lit up using the kind of the glow lichen and everything. And of course, there is a hovering goblin that is right at eye level. Probably not the best angle to showcase that, but I wanted to really get the tower in this shot so you can see what the final product looks like. Almost final. I think I'll probably put like an antenna structure at the very top at some point. It won't be today. I ran out of time on this project, and it just kind of is what it is. But overall, I'm very pleased. I'm glad I added that middle section right there, the big glassed area, and I think it gives it a little bit more extra height and a little bit more extra detail. And I think it looks really, really solid. And as you can see, someone who is something of a scientist themselves is actually flying here, pumpkin in hand, and yeah, swirling around the side of the building. And as you can see, this is another reason, by the way, not a fan of the happy gas. They're not very functional. You very frustrating to get around on these things. And I know you might be thinking, Bo, they're not supposed to be that functional. I mean, you're not supposed to use them to like get around and move fast. I know. I'm not talking about that. I'm just meaning even for like the building, they can be quite frustrating because like you're standing on them and then you're trying to build and then all of a sudden they wiggle around and you put the blocks in the wrong places and all that kind of stuff. That was kind of my problem with this Oscorp side. But we made it work. It was okay. It was fine. And oh my goodness gracious, I think it looks really good. Let me know what you think. Is this a good Oscorp? Did we go the right route by kind of taking the custom Lego approach? I think so. I do think so. I think it's a little over the top in terms of kind of the bright green and purple, and it's very much broadcasting the fact that we're dealing with a supervillain here, but I think that's okay. I think for the Marvel District in particular, we like that. We want things to be very obvious. I mean, like the web facility is very clearly a Spider-Man build. This one should be very clearly a Green Goblin build. And yeah, I think it looks good. Oh, I do want the sun to go down so I just want to see what it looks like at night. That is something I'm curious about. Yeah. That's good. I mean, the base in particular looks very kind of just like almost like a very boring government building, especially if you're standing at the side where you don't have any kind of color whatsoever. And that looks really cool. This looks really cool. It's just very corporate gothic, if that can be. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but that's kind of the vibe, and I dig it. And then as you kind of get full on, you get very sci-fi, you know, just the glowy green, just evil scientist vibes as well. This is honestly, I think it's a perfect combination. I think it really does justice to what we were trying to accomplish here by putting Oscorp in the Marvel District, and yes, with a goblin atop and apparently a cow in the streets. Hi, buddy. Couldn't be more pleased. Could not be more pleased. I absolutely love it. So let me know what you think. Is this solid? Is this good? Is this the Oscorp you were hoping to see? Or did you have ideas for different designs? Let me know if you happen to be looking for some different inspiration for your Marvel builds. Put that in the comments as well. Maybe we might add something new to the Marvel District based on your suggestions, just like we did with this one. And I'm excited to see, too, how I end up tweaking this. Because like I said, I might move the goblin either lower or higher. I know for sure that I'm going to put some sort of tower on top of it. I think that'll be really solid. But one thing's for sure, I think we've got ourselves a fine addition to the Marvel District. And it definitely added to the skyline a bit. Admittedly, the way that we've kind of structured the builds, depending on which district you are, it's kind of harder to see. But I think it's good. I think especially from this angle, in particular, it looks fantastic. But that is going to do it for us for today. Please be sure to like, subscribe, do all the wonderful things that one would do with the YouTube channel. It helps us out, lets us know that you want me to continue making this good stuff, especially for these kind of bigger, longer builds. Like this does take time. And so if it's something you want to continue to see, hey, support it by liking and sharing and doing all the things. That is going to do it for us for today from Fancraft. But until next time, goodbye.